Hello football soccer lovers, I'm Grim Giancola. About a week ago, I did a prediction on Cavalry vs Forge FC, the first ever CPL 2020 Island Games, aka the second CPL season. But this time, I'm actually going to predict what's going to happen in the first stage, the group stage, the final, and who gets a berth in the CONCACAF League for 2021. Here is my prediction on the full CanPL 2020 Island Games. At number 8, I'm going to predict that FC Edmonton is going to get the wooden spoon. FC Edmonton has a lot of good players, like Trinidad and Tobago player Kareem Mooses, Canadian international Amir Didic, and goalkeeper Connor James. FC Edmonton finished third in the spring season. They got second place in the 2019 CONCACAF League qualification table. They came in 6th in the fall season, and overall they came in 4th. The reason why I'm predicting they're going to be 8th is because they didn't have a lot of wins. They had a negative goal difference, and since they've been on for 10 years, the 10-year history has been not in the top 2. So yeah, that's why I think FC Edmonton is going to get the wooden spoon. Up next at number 7 are the HofX Wanderers. They finished 4th in the spring season and 7th/last in the fall season. I think HofX Wanderers are going to get 7th because last season they couldn't even score at least up to 3 goals in a game. But I'm hoping that they can get at least 3 or maybe even 4 more goals in at least one game this season. They really need to improve their goal scoring. Their defense wasn't that good last season, but I'm hoping that this season they can improve their defense. In HofX Wanderers last season, they got a goal difference of -14. That's not good. But I'm hoping they can improve their goal differential for this season. They had a lot of good players like Matthew Arone, Elton John, yes, and Elton John, who's from Trinidad, Vincent Lammy, and Elliot Simmons, but they all left. So I hope they can use their new players very well. Up next at number 6, I'm going for Cavalry FC. They got last in the spring season, 5th in the fall season. They did improve, but not a lot, and got 6th in the entire season. The reason why they're going to improve is they got a player from France's League 1 called Arnold Bokia Motu. He was born in Reims, France, but has represented Congo since 2014. He's like one of the biggest stars to ever join the CPL as of now. They also got Canadian international Fraser Aird, who was on the Scottish Premiership team Cove Rangers. And they have other internationals too, like Panamanian Amir Soto and New Zealand international Moses Dyer. I'm predicting that Motu is going to score the club's most goals this season, and he will help Valor lead to 6th place in the season. Up next at number 5 is Pacific FC. They got 5th in the spring season, 4th in the fall season, and got 5th in the entire season. Most of Pacific FC's roster is domestic, so that's really good for the Canadian Premier League. The reason why I think they're going to get 5th is because they're not going to be without 3 Canadian players, Ben Fisk, Marcus Haber, and Izzy Nakajima Farin. Canadian player Marcel Dejon joined Pacific FC in 2019, but he suffered an injury. But then, he only played a few games in the 2019 season, but I think he's going to improve this season because he's fully fit. Pacific didn't have a lot of wins, but I'm hoping that they can get even more wins this season. Up next at number 4, and one of the teams to qualify for the next stage is going to be York 9 FC. They got 6th in their spring season and 3rd in the fall season, which is one of the biggest improvements of a CanPL club in history. The reason why I think York is going to get 3rd is because they brought back their first ever goal scorer and the CPL's original goal scorer, Ryan Telfler. He played on York 9 FC in 2019, but then transferred to Cyprus team Nia Salmis. He was born in Mississauga but has represented Trinidad and Tobago internationally, and I'm hoping that he becomes the CPL record goal scorer for this season. I'm hoping that he scores York 9 FC's first goal of the 2020 season. Nathan Ingham was one of the best CPL goalies last season, and he's going to be one of the best again this season. At number 3, I'm predicting the defending champions, Forge FC, will get 3rd and will become one of the next teams to qualify for the next stage. Since CPL's record goal scorer as of now, Tristan Borges, is now in Belgium. I'm thinking that Cadell Thomas will lead Forge FC's goals. Cadell Thomas is from North York, Ontario, and he did a really good job last season with Forge FC. Forge FC got second in the spring season. They got first in the 2019 CONCACAF League qualification table. They did beat Guatemala side Antigua GFC in the Premier League round 2-1 in aggregate, but sadly they lost to Honduran side Olympia in the round of 16 2-4 on aggregate. I'm hoping that Forge can go past the round of 16 in this year's CONCACAF League. Forge FC had a lot of great moments in the 2019 Canadian Premier League season. They also got second in the fall season, but won the 2019 Canadian Premier League Championship. I'm predicting that this year, Forge won't be the winning team. Up next at number 2 is spring and fall season winners Cavalry FC. Last season, they had the best and still have the best CPL goalie ever as of now, Marco Carducci. He made a lot of shutouts last season, and I'm predicting that he's going to make even more shutouts this season. Some other good players on Cavalry FC are Canadian Dominic Zator, Nick Ledgerwood, Englishman Jordan Brown, and Brazilian player Oliver. Those players will help lead Cavalry FC to the next stage of the group. They did lose to Forge FC in the CPL final, but I still think they can go through to the next round. And at number 1, the newest expansion side, Atltico Ottawa, owned by Atletico Madrid. This is their first ever season as a CPL club. The youngest Canadian ever CPL player to play, Anton Coupland. His previous club was Ottawa Fury, but they're now dissolved. Ben Fisk, who was originally on Pacific FC, 2 Spanish players, a goalkeeper, Naco Zabal, and midfielder, VT Martinez. Those players will help Atletico Ottawa get first in the first stage. At number 4 in the next stage, it will be Forge FC. At third in the next stage will be York 9 FC, and Atletico Ottawa will be in first and Cavalry will be in second, which means them two will go to the CPL finals. For the 2020 CanPL season, or the Island Game season, I'm going to predict that Atletico Ottawa is going to beat Cavalry FC 2-0 in the CPL finals. I'm predicting that the first goal will be scored by Canadian youngster Anton Coupland and Canadian from Pacific FC, Ben Fisk. Well, that was my prediction on the full 2020 CanPL/Island Games season. I hope you like my predictions. Comment down what you think. Who knows if I get at least one of these predictions right. I'm really hoping that I get at least one of these predictions right. If I do, then I'll think of something. Stay tuned for tomorrow. More content coming tomorrow. Peace.